All right, I'm trying to see if anyone can hear me. Now it's making noise along the bottom, so that's kind of fun. Ooh, it's getting loud out there. Can anyone hear me? If you're on, I see one person is on. Anyone else on? I know it's kind of pointless since I was just on a minute ago, but I'm trying to get the sound to work. Oh, Ryan, you can hear me. Can you hear a bunch of loud noise in the back? That's awesome. Okay, so we won't get as many people back, but it's still fine. I've got it figured out. I don't know what I did. Literally, I just restarted the browser. Who knows? So I am actually today, you see I'm wearing this odd hat. You can see it. And I am at the Georgefest parade. Oh, thank you, Ellen. You can hear me. That's wonderful. It is a little bit noisy because there's a parade going on behind me. Literally, there's a huge parade. You'll see that's one of our fire trucks making a lot of noise. So I'll see if I can turn off the turn on the sound is better. And we have a carnival going on. You'll see over there's a big carnival going on. So morning, Vicky, Bobby, Kathleen, MJ, Kathy. How is everybody doing? So this is a live Q&A. You can ask me questions in the chat. I'm going to sort of walk around a little bit to our Lakeside Fair and Park. Of course, the moment I get this working is the moment that all of the fire trucks go by, and they love putting on all of their sirens. So just the way that goes, I'll try to get a little quieter. So yeah, I'm in Central Florida in a town called Eustace, and since 1902, we've been doing a celebration of George Washington's birthday. So you'll see behind me in the park, there's everything set up for people. So yeah, we've been doing it now 123 years. And I've lived here in this town almost 20 years or so, somewhere in there. And I've been coming to it every single year. Used to walk in the parade every year. They asked me one year if I would clean up after the horses of the Wells Fargo wagon, which I agreed to do. But I wanted to look good, so I'm in a parade. I wore top hat and tails with a big old sash that said the Earl of Poop. It was super easy. And in fact, I want to show you, this is our lake right over here. This is Lake Eustace. Yeah, so it's going good. So I'm definitely glad to answer any questions or maybe just chat while we're on here. So the parade is going by right now. I'm going to just keep walking along the lake. Kathy asked a great question. What brought you to Eustace? I was actually born in Florida. I'm one of the 7 people actually born in Florida who still live here. We tend to be mostly transplants, don't we? So I was born and raised just, I don't know, an hour from Eustace. And then I lived in Orlando for a while. And then my partner and I moved to Eustace. It's a lot quieter. It is so loud in Orlando. The traffic is so bad. There's some parts of Orlando, it can take you 30 minutes to go 2 miles. And it's crazy. Although the traffic's getting bad here too. So probably because 800 people a day move to Florida. And so we are growing. But Eustace is a nice, quiet, small town. And I love that about it. It's very family friendly, very family focused, and pretty small. I like it. We are close to a couple of other big cities. And I shouldn't say big cities, a couple of other similarly sized cities that we all together create sort of a bigger area. So Eustace has maybe 20,000 residents, between 20 and 22,000 residents. And there's 2 cities near us, Mount Dora and Tavares, and they each have a similar amount of people. So between us, we've got a lot of people in the area. So let's see. Hey, Sandra in Chattanooga, good to see you here. I'm wearing this hat because we're celebrating George Washington's birthday. And since we're doing that, we're going for a Guinness World Record. The most people wearing a tricorn hat at the same time. And since we have all these people on the parade route, They're hoping to get at least 3,500 people all wearing one of these hats at the same time. And so we are piled up that way. I'm actually going to get over to the, we're going to get over to the parade route, but I want to get away from my friend Billy Matthews, who is calling the parade on a loudspeaker. I just don't want it to be loud. Actually, I'm down here because I am going to be helping the Chamber of Commerce sell beer in the beer tent. I'm walking through all the food trucks right now. They're all around here. All right. Well, let's see. There's a nice urban food truck here. It says Urban Nomads Urban Food. There's wings and barbecue. These guys are going to be doing something good. You always know when someone's got just a couple tents lined up, it's going to be good. The hat says Eustace, Florida, and Eustace events, actually. But the hat is to commemorate our very first president of the United States, George Washington. And Rachel, I'm going to sell the beer. I do not actually consume beer. I don't like beer. I think it's now that's okay. My partner Brad loves beer, drinks all the time. So if he braves the crowds, then he will come down here and have a beer. But most likely, he doesn't really like crowds. So he's not like I am. I'm a natural ham. I have to get out and see people. Okay, so right now, I love it. The twirlers are going by. You know, it's funny when you see twirlers, you think, oh, it's going to be little kids. And what I love is these are twirlers who've continued to twirl. So I'll show you what I mean. These are twirlers of all ages in down the road. So yeah, it's pretty great. I'm out of focus, Linda. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I look like I'm in focus on my screen, but it's a webcam on a computer, which means there is no focus. Oh, this rubber duck behind me. You just said that, Purple. Look, this is like this is apparently the world's largest rubber duck. It's like 60 or 50 or 60 feet tall. I'm going to get over a little closer to it to show it to you because they put it up. They had to take it down for wind reasons. It's so big. It's really hard to get an idea of how big it is. I'll see if I can give you. Oh, and listen to this. There's a small rubber duck that comes with a big rubber duck, and his name is Little Timmy, which I didn't really love, only because I don't want to be the name of a duck. Those are porta potties in front of the duck. Those are power lines, and it's way behind the power lines actually. So yeah, it's huge. It works though because it's literally on our street, on right next to our lake, which is like a big bathtub, right? So let's see. What else does anyone want to know? Tell me. Yeah, you would need a pretty huge bathtub. Like I said, though, there's a 14-acre lake next to it, or 1,400-acre lake. I'm sorry, I think it's 1,400 acres. I haven't been president of the Historic Museum in quite a few years. The job I did for a while. Hey, Amanda from England. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, normally I'm talking about sewing and crafting and all that kind of stuff, but I did do that video earlier today, just a short one, so I could bring you to the Georgefest parade. So we've got, right now we have the beauty queens are coming by in their convertibles. That's Mrs. Lake County, Sophia. Let's see, we've got a couple of younger ones coming in their convertibles. I used to own a convertible and I don't anymore because I always got asked to drive in parades. So I don't do that anymore. This is one of the longest, it's a short parade route. It's like not even 2 miles, but it's so long. There's like 100 and something entries in the parade. So I'll show you coming down. There's all kinds of people coming down. So Vicky asks, are your kids interested in sewing? I have a son who I adopted when he was 16. and I was, gosh, probably too old to adopt. Not really. I was like 38. And he sewed his first project a couple of weeks ago because he wanted to fix a pair of shorts that he had a hole in the pocket, and he also wanted to try out an idea he had to trap um, a bar of soap in between two washcloths. Now, obviously, that's something that's been done before, but he wanted to do his own version, which was really cool. And he thought it through, and we walked it through. And I showed him how to use a sewing machine, and he did great. He had a really good time. So I don't think he's going to sew a whole lot. Like, it's not something he wants to do in business. So yeah, Rachel, I know what you mean. You used to have one in your local town, a parade. You know what though? It's interesting. We get a lot of like, it's all just homegrown floats. There's no real there's no professional float building happening. There's this tiny and junior Miss Leesburg. Look at these kids; are so young. I love it that they're getting to take part in a real this time-honored tradition of being in the parade. And there's several bands in the parade. So the high school band went by early playing. It was really awesome. And then there will be probably a big old group of people from the Villages, which is a huge retirement community here in Florida. And they come over. They're only 40 minutes or so away. And they'll be riding on their Segways, which is great. Those still exist. We have some companies that'll put in. This is Win One Ministries, which is one of our local church groups that is in the parade showing their connection. We have a really great local community of the Mexican community, and they will come by dressed in all their dresses and dancing to the music. It's really great. It's sponsored by the local Mexican restaurant called Sol de Mexico in downtown, which is really great. Yeah, there's some, like, you can't see down all the way down the end of the road. It shows you exactly how much is coming because it's so much. All right, any other questions? Let's see. I don't want to be on here too long because I still have to go get a gyro to eat, and I've got to be in the. I have to get in the tent by 11 a.m. to set up the beer. Purple, you're right. If he can use a sewing machine for repairs and ideas, it puts ahead a lot of people. Absolutely. He was sort of surprised that it wasn't harder than he thought it was going to be a lot harder to do. So it's kind of cool that it wasn't. And I get a little loud here because they are playing their drums, which is pretty awesome. See the kids playing the drums? Yeah, a lot of fun. And of course, the golf cart company comes out, shows off their golf carts. I mean, why not? We're in that kind of a community. In fact, several of our local communities allow golf carts all through downtown. So, all right. Well, this is the Georgefest parade. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of it. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to try to do more live Q&As in the future. And I'm going to work on whether we do them right after videos. I kind of like the way, for those of you who were on earlier and I couldn't get the sound to work right, did it bring you right over to the live Q&A as soon as the other video ended? I'm wondering that. If anyone knows. While you're thinking to answer that question to me, absolutely. You can drive a car, you can drive a sewing machine. Absolutely. It did take him a while to be ready to do that, though. So he was like 23 before he did that. Let's see. Great question. What was your first sewing machine? I'm going to answer that in just a minute. I'll answer that in just a second after they go by with the music. Oh, the Eustace African American Heritage Community is coming by. So they just had a parade for the Black Heritage just last week. They always do it in February. And look at them going on. Hey, wave to the people. Hey, Miss Carla, how are you? I love it. Hey, guys, good to see you. These are my dear friends from the African American Heritage Community. So they put on a great event. They've been doing it for years and years and years. I love it. All right, so good. It notified you about the live. You just had to click a button. That's so good to hear. All right, I'm going to answer questions the next time we do one of these live Q&As. Kathy, my first sewing machine, I don't remember, but my grandmother gave it to me, and it was a big, heavy, I don't know if it was a Kenmore or a Singer, but it was a big, heavy metal machine, and I miss it every day because it really worked really well. All right, y'all, thank you so much for joining me. It'll work better next time when I have the audio and everything working. And until next time, stay crafty. Bye for now. Now I got to figure out how to end this thing. Maybe it's this button. Oh, yep.